Good morning. It is Tuesday the 14th and it's a balmy 2 degrees. Didn't work yesterday. Well, I did work yesterday. Phase 3 of our extension's taking place right now, so that's the brand new kitchen, etc, etc. So I just kind of had to be around for a few things, so I just turned yesterday into a office day. So in January I always have some office days anyway, because you know how it is when the season starts, you just get too busy. So that's not too much of a problem. Traditionally what I always used to do is make the first couple of days back at work just purely office days, but then it kind of dawned on me that it would be wasting those days if I had 2 weeks off for Christmas, New Year, etc, then spent a few days inside, and then we had snow, for instance, then it would be a complete waste, really. I'd be better off cracking on with the work that I've got to do, and then if we have any bad weather, then have my office days, and then if we get to the end of the month and we've had no bad weather at all, then just have the office days anyway. So that's kind of how I do it now, but obviously yesterday my hands were tied, so it just became an office day. So yeah, that was good. So last week, at the start of the week, I was going to go and do a big hedge job, and then I ended up just doing random things at a client's house. And then yesterday I was going to attempt that job as well, but obviously that turned into what it was. So we are going to start this hedge job, and this is a hedge job which I do every year. However, last year I didn't do it, so this year I've got 2 years worth of growth I'm going to take off, rather than just the one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Sent a few quotes on Friday. I did 3 quotes. I sent 2 of them off. Heard back from one instantly, haven't heard back from the other, and I'm just putting the other one together, but didn't have time to send it. So I'll do that one today. So yeah, all good, I think. Anyways, I should get loaded up and then I'll see you at the job. Okay, so we're on site now. You'll recognise this garden. This is one of the gardens I've had for the longest time. So actually, I think from March, I would have been looking after this garden for 10 years. Second client now. The homeowners, actually, the people who did live here now live at the property I was at last year. So the job for the day really is, if you remember in the summer, we cut all these hedges down here. But what we'll now do is tackle this one. So we've got the wildlife fence, so really all I can do is go up to the wildlife fence. I don't do this in the summer because you've got all the flowers which are all blooming and doing everything they need to do, so I don't need to be traipsing through. And then what I try and do is basically put in a bit of a step of about a foot, and then try and take that up. Now I'm going to do as much as I can, but I haven't got the big ladder because annoyingly the client who owns the big ladder, who was the previous owner here, he wanted to use it this week, which was a bit out of order in my view. And then we're gonna so I did the yew hedges in the summer, but then we'll go all the way down, all the way round, and then essentially back down. I mean, look, it's really out of control over there by the shed, if you can see, and then back down and all the way down again. So yeah, so there's probably about 3 days work there in total, and it's twice as much as what I would normally do, because remember, I didn't cut it last year. So yeah, that's kind of it. Weapons of choice are is the Stihl combi unit with the hedge cutter on, obviously, and then the handheld is the Ego. So yeah, I've only got the 8-foot henchman with me, so I'll do what I can with that, but then I'll probably do everything, and then I'll do the high stuff another day, and the same for next door as well. Here's the lawn out the front. So this was striped just before Christmas, was it? I think it was the Friday before Christmas, so the stripes are still there. It also had an iron treatment maybe the week before, just to sort of green things up a bit. So yeah, not bad. Got a Christmas tree to burn, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so for for January and my first visit, everything's still looking pretty tidy. That hedge looks like it needs a cut on the top, but what I'm actually trying to do is let it grow up, so that line across there will go all the way across. So hopefully by the time I cut that in the summer, it will sort of leveled out a little bit more. And the bamboo over there, I've never known a summer like it where it's grown so much constantly, so we'll give those a bit of a tidy up as well if I get a chance. Okay, so got that little section done there. I've got a little bit up there, but I need the big ladder to get any higher. So here we're just gonna bring it into the wildlife fence. And then here all we do is we just follow that along, and that's me just holding the long-handled hedge trimmer up in a comfortable position where I can just go along the top, just to try and make it easier for myself each year. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so lights are on there as well. So okay, there you see, so we've run that line along there. You can see where that second yew hedge is, it just dips down a bit, and those hedges are a little bit sort of yellower, limer shall we say. It's always struggled there, always, and then it darkens off. So we've gone all the way down to the bottom, so that's side and top, and then I've gone probably 2/3 up on there, which obviously you can only see the top bit, which doesn't look particularly good, I know, but we'll get the bigger ladder in here. So tomorrow I've still got a big pile of leaves and stuff I need to tidy up from today. Obviously we're losing the lights. The plan for tomorrow is bonfire, do all that back section, 3 sides of it, because obviously one side's that way, and top. Now that bit over there coming down from the bottom of the garden to the shed, I've already done that in the summer, so it's not as bad. I'll do the stragglers and stuff, but it'll be really just the top. Then a little bit in here, this is more sort of conifer-y kind of leylandy, whatever the difference is, in there. And then this is all quite sparse, a little bit of a hornbeam hedge, and that will be it. So I'd imagine two good days left on this one. Yeah, well, there we go. See you tomorrow. Morning, so it's Wednesday today, and day 2 on this job would be get this hedge done. It's a little bit awkward because it's on a bank and it actually gets steeper, sort of that half, but there's the top as well. Then we come round, and then we've got the dumping pile. Now this garden makes a lot of waste, so what we've got is this massive pile of leaves. As you can see, this all needs to be taken back, and then we've got some compost areas, but under here, not that I've piled the leaves on that area, that's just the fallen leaves on there, is all the lower branches from these trees. If you remember, I took those off in August, I think, and just didn't have time to do anything with it. Again, traditionally I would dump everything here and then deal with it in the winter, so it's winter. I'm certainly not going to have a fire in August. This particular location is renowned for having heathland fires in and around the area and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm very conscious of that. So I wouldn't, if I'm going to have a bonfire, it's always going to be in the winter time. Yesterday would have been a perfect day actually, but today it's a little bit, it's not windy, it's just a bit damp, I would say. So anyway, we'll get this fire going. Hopefully we've got enough dry stuff. As you can see, I've brought just a couple of pallets and a little bit of kindling from home just to kind of get it going. And then once it's going, you know, hopefully there's enough dry stuff to put it straight on. I don't mind putting the hornbeam stuff on there, but I hate putting laurel on there. It just is so smoky, so I really want to get it roaring if I am going to chuck that on. If not, we'll try and get rid of this pile and then put that somewhere else. Okay, so there's a quick go on that hedge there. Now we've got this one here. So I did in the summer, so I'm sort of I'll do it a sort of a quick tidy up on it, but This is the one that I did do in the summer because it was sort of, if you remember, it was out halfway across this path, sort of where all the stuff's fallen. That's how far it came out. So it needed to be dealt with. So all I did was I just held the long-handled hedge cutter up at a comfortable height where it's sort of resting on my belt, if you like, and taken a line across the top, so it's about a foot higher than the wire. So what I'm going to do now is just sort of take that height and just sort of level it off a little bit. I'm not sure what I'm going to do around the hedge. Sorry, the hedge. I'm not sure what I'm going to do to get round the shed. I guess I'll just have to do what I can from this side, what I can from the other side, and then I might have to nip round next door to get to the top bit if I can't get on the shed. I don't know how strong it is, so yeah. And I mean, it's all over the place, this hedge. Not only because it goes up and down because of the actual ground, but yes, we'll do the best we can. It's going to be better than what it was, and it stops it getting out of control. Okay, so day 3 on the project. So remember, day 1 started all the way down there, and we've gone all the way along, 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 and we got to the shed yesterday. So I've just gone round and just took the worst of that bit off. Need to go over it again and tidy it up in a bit, but yeah, so there. And then I've just kind of gone along the fence line as much as I could reach. The fence line now is getting really wonky and stuff like that, so I'm kind of having to just go with it. Fortunately I saw it, because it was difficult to see with all the growth around it, but we have an electric cable just hanging in the hedge. And then again, all the way down here, so all I'm doing, as you can see, it's nothing straight about this, so I'm just trying to stay a couple of inches off it to just try and put a straighter line in if possible. Really see how this is all over the place. And then here it goes back into and here it goes back into laurel again. So I mean, it was literally out. This is the irrigation water tank, so it was right out to there, so I've managed to just get that back down. I'm not going to do the sort of the conifery bit. I'm going to take out that bit of laurel just there. You can just see it just sticks out a bit. And as you can see, yeah, just that section there, just to sort of smooth it in, that's a little bit out of my reach, even with the big stuff. So yeah, there we are. And of course from here, we did that in the summer all the way down. So yeah, cracking on. This will be my last day on the job. Tomorrow I've got some stuff I need to do around the house, and probably do a little bit more paperwork, etc., office stuff, things like that. And then my reward for getting all this done is to go next door and do exactly the same, but on next door's garden. So no rest for the wicked, as they say. Okay, so here we are, we're back at the football pitches, and I've got to say, they look a lot better than they did, was it 2 weeks ago? I haven't walked them yet, but all I'm doing today is I'm just going to measure them up, because we've already got approved the weed killing of them, but what we need to do is get the measurements, because I need to put a quote in, because if I kill the weeds there ain't going to be anything left. So we're going to look to overseed, or drill seed is the correct phrase. But what I will need to do is work out, because obviously football pitches can vary in size, so I need to know exactly how big the pitches are, because obviously we'll be ordering a lot of seed, so need to make sure we have enough and that we're not massively over ordered, because although, you know, it can keep, it's a storage issue more than anything.